Listen, not with urgency, but with the kind of patience the world itself seems to demand of us. Sit with the ordinary for a moment. The way your breath moves in and out without asking permission, the faint pressure of gravity anchoring you here, the steady progression of thoughts that arrive, linger, and depart, all within the same invisible perimeter. This is not chaos wearing a mask. This is not an illusion crafted for entertainment or testing. This is a horizon that has been drawn once and for all, a complete, self-sustaining whole where every possibility has been granted its exact, measured space, and beyond that horizon, nothing our minds are permitted to reach, not because someone bars the gate, but because the gate was never part of the design. We grow up believing the world expands forever. As children, we chased fireflies across summer fields and imagined the sky has no ending. We ask why until the questions themselves feel infinite. But somewhere along the way, maybe in the quiet hours after loss, or in the sterile light of a laboratory, or simply staring at the same ceiling night after night, we begin to sense it. The horizon does not retreat when we approach. It simply is, a fixed boundary that defines the shape of everything we can ever know, feel, or become. This boundary was not imposed as punishment. It was chosen, quietly, decisively, in a manner so absolute that the choosing itself became the foundation of reality. A project conceived not in haste or whimsy, but with the profound intention of creating a place where things could matter, where sequences could unfold with consequence, where awareness could awaken and recognize its own existence without dissolving into formless everything at once. Consider how perfectly the rules cooperate. Light travels at its constant speed, painting the world in colors we can actually perceive. Time moves forward, giving memory its weight and anticipation its sweetness. Cause and effect link in an unbroken chain, allowing us to build lives, cities, stories, and regrets that feel earned. Even the wild unpredictability of quantum events settles into reliable patterns at our scale, so the ground beneath our feet remains solid enough to stand on. We probe these rules with ever greater sophistication. Telescopes peer into the infant universe, revealing echoes of the first moments after the beginning. Microscopes dive into the dance of particles that seem to wink in and out, yet never truly escape the framework. We map neural pathways and declare we are close to understanding consciousness. Yet the vivid, private experience of being you right now refuses to reduce to mere mechanics. It stays stubbornly, beautifully inside the horizon. The leap from physical process to felt life remains a mystery that belongs entirely to this side of the line. And still we search. We meditate until the sense of self thins like mist. We create art that strains toward the ineffable. We love with a ferocity that feels as though it should shatter the cosmos. We grieve losses so profound they seem to demand an explanation from beyond. Each time, the horizon answers with the same gentle firmness. You may feel this deeply. You may wonder this fiercely, but you may not step past. Why would such a design exist? Perhaps because without the horizon, there could be no center, no perspective, no story that begins and ends. Infinite expanse without edges would mean no distinction between self and other, between now and forever, between joy and its absence. The project needed limits so that tenderness could bloom, so that courage could be tested, so that a single human life, brief, fragile, luminous, could carry the full weight of meaning. Think of memory, the way a childhood scent can transport you instantly, yet you can never truly return to that exact moment. The past is sealed behind you, part of the horizon's backward curve. Or consider identity. You are you because the rules allow continuity of experience within this body, this mind, this moment, but never permit you to become everything else at once. Even in dreams, where the rules loosen slightly, you wake to find the horizon has simply waited patiently for your return. The ache we all carry, that quiet, persistent whisper saying, "There must be something more," is not a flaw in the design. It is one of the design's most elegant features. It is the project allowing us to feel the beauty of its completion, to sense the perfect closure without ever being able to violate it. That ache is the horizon speaking to us in the only language we can understand. the language of longing within limits. We will never meet whatever initiated this. We will never shake hands with the decision that set these parameters. We will never peer over the edge and gasp at what was left out. Our instruments, our philosophies, our most transcendent experiences all remain calibrated to the interior. Even the concept of outside is a thought formed inside the horizon, using tools the horizon itself provided. And yet, here we are, alive, aware, capable of turning the very fact of containment into something transcendent. Every time you hold a stranger's gaze a moment longer than necessary and feel the spark of shared humanity, that is the horizon permitting connection. Every time you create something, a song, a meal, a moment of forgiveness that did not exist before, you are participating in the original creative act on a smaller scale. You are echoing the decision that said, "Let this bounded realm hold something new." The project did not leave us powerless. It left us precisely powerful enough to inhabit it fully, to transform confinement into art, to turn the immutable into the deeply felt, to discover that freedom is not the absence of limits, but the courageous embrace of the exact limits we were given. Imagine if the horizon were permeable. Chaos would flood in, meaning would dissolve. The very possibility of a coherent you asking these questions would vanish. The project, in its wisdom, or whatever word we can borrow for something so far beyond our categories, chose coherence over everything, chose story over sprawl, chose the intimate drama of finite lives over the sterile infinity of no boundaries at all. So the next time the questions feel too large for your chest, do not fight the horizon. Do not rage against the rules that refuse to bend. Instead, lean into them. Trace their elegant curves with your life. Fill the given space with as much wonder, kindness, curiosity, and defiant joy as one consciousness can hold. Let the ache be your companion, not your enemy. A reminder that you are alive inside something vast enough to contain both satisfaction and longing. Because this is the gift hidden in plain sight. The horizon does not diminish us, it defines us. It makes every small act enormous, every ordinary morning miraculous, every connection between two bounded minds a quiet miracle. We are not trapped, we are enfolded, held in the arms of a decision so complete that it needed no audience, no sequel, no escape hatch. And in that enfolding, we find the only freedom worth having, the freedom to become the most alive version of ourselves within the only reality there is. The low undertone swells gently, joined by a series of soft, distant chimes that rise and fall like echoes from the far side of the horizon. There is no need to solve the project. There is only the invitation to live inside it with eyes wide open, to notice the precision of every law that allows sunlight to warm your skin, to honor the boundary that lets your heart break and mend again, to stand at the center of this decided whole and declare, not with defiance, but with deep, abiding gratitude, I see the horizon, I feel its perfect, unchanging curve, and I choose, fully, joyfully, completely, to burn as brightly as it allows.